What's going on, everyone? Big turnout. This is gonna be awesome. I gotta find Grace. Where is Grace? Participants. Here we go.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey.
Just want to say thanks for everything you guys are doing for us to keep us informed.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Hold on, let me get to my main screen so I can see who's talking.
Okay.
Is this John?
Yes, it is.
Hey, John.
So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
No, hey, believe me, each day it's nice to be able to, come up with something which, even though it's off some of your older programs, it's still some great, information to have at hand. Especially with, the ideas you've been sharing with us for what we can do for businesses.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I know there's a lot of different things that we're working through as well that I think everyone's kind of in the same boat here. So I'm happy for that feedback. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Still don't see Grace. Do you guys like these classes that we're doing? Like these live streams? They kind of helping out a little bit. Put in the chat if you can. Yeah. All right, cool. Grace. Let me make sure. I appreciate everyone being here on time. We're going to get started soon. I actually did something with Grace the other day, and it was phenomenal. She's phenomenal. So I'm pumped for everyone to meet her. Let's see what's going on. Hopefully she didn't get no 106. We have 250.
Whoa.
I think we were allowed to get another. Oh, there she is. Perfect. I'm gonna make co-host Grace and unmute.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
How are ya?
Good. How are you? So we got pretty good, 117 on right now, which is definitely our biggest class so far. So you're a rock star already in the community. I'm going to stream us to Facebook though, so give me a second.
Perfect.
This is so cool.
I haven't used that function yet. I'm so excited to test it out.
So does everyone, for everyone to know that, like, if you're using Zoom for the first time, in the top right corner, there's something that's called gallery view or speaker view. A speaker view is going to be just looking at Grace the whole time or whoever's speaking. And the gallery view is kind of cool if you want to like look at everyone else's, like I see like 25 people on my screen right now, like all your amazing faces and stuff like that. So for the thing, I'll definitely put Grace on, but you have that option as well. All right. And then I'm going to ask everyone if they could make sure that they're muted so that it doesn't interrupt anyone. Cool. All right, let's get started. Where did Grace go? Oh, there you go. Let's do it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for having me, Jesse. It's so awesome to meet all of you. Thank you so much for expressing interest in understanding how to directly access your subconscious mind. So I'll just tell you a tiny little bit about who I am, what I do in the world, so you know why I'm qualified to even be here spending this time with you. And then I just want to dive right into the practices that I'm going to teach you.
Hold on.
Feel that.
Yeah, I'll monitor it to make sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Feel some immediate stress release.
There you go. Hey.
मी unmute करून.
Hold on. Trying to. All right, there we go.
Thanks. And once you get a chance to experience what it's like to directly access your subconscious mind in order to relieve stress, I'll tell you more then about the mechanics of why it works, how it works. I can take some questions. And then at the very end, I'm going to guide us through an even deeper experience collectively so that you can leave this call just feeling absolutely amazing. So first things first, my name is Grace Smith. I'm the founder of Grace-Based Hypnosis, which is the world's leading provider of hypnosis education, resources, products. And I never in a million years when I was a little girl dreamed of growing up and speaking to people with their eyes closed. I definitely did not have a goal of becoming a hypnotherapist one day. But essentially, I found hypnotherapy in my own healing, health, wellness journey. I used it originally when I was 25 to quit smoking when I was living in New York City. And I quit in one session. I'd been chain smoking for a long time. All my friends smoked. It was such a ritual in my life. It was so much a part of my identity back then. And to quit in one session, my immediate reaction to that was, why does anybody have lung cancer? Why does anybody have emphysema? Why is anybody smoking who doesn't want to be smoking? I don't understand. What is the subconscious? What is hypnosis? Why did I think it was going to be swinging watches and clucking chickens and ineffective when actually it was one of the most relaxing, fascinating, insightful experiences I've ever had. But most importantly, it was effective. So that got me on my journey. I then used it to overcome my debilitating fear of public speaking. Clearly, I got over that. That took about 10 sessions. In fact, at the end of the 10 sessions, I was the lead singer in an all-girl rock band touring around Brooklyn. So if that's of interest to you, you can upgrade your subconscious to do that for fun. And I started helping people on the side. But then early on in my just part-time practice, I was still working in corporate America. I was the district manager for a Silicon Valley startup. So I ran the New York office at 25 years old, so much stress, so much pressure. But I worked with a man who was paralyzed when I was just a part-time hypnotherapist. And in our first session together, he broke through his paralysis. He moved the left side of his body for the first time in over 3 months. And that was the day I said, nope. Forget it. Put in my 2 weeks notice. I said, there's not another day I could wake up and look myself in the mirror if I knew the power of this tool. I mean, I just watched this man go from being paralyzed to mobile. I quit smoking. I overcame my fear of public speaking. That person's flying for the first time in their life without total, utter, complete fear. That person's not biting their nails. That person's not screaming at their kids anymore. I kept seeing all of this success. And I said, I'm not going to stop until hypnosis is mainstream and until the whole world knows the power of this non-invasive, non-pharmacological, but incredibly powerful tool. So that's the gist. Been on this journey ever since 2012. And now we've got books and lots of TV show appearances and lots of fancy clients. And, you know, we help hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. And I'm so excited for you guys to now be part of the Grace-Based family. So let's dig in and have you experience what it feels like. So then I can describe for you kind of what's happening and why it's so powerful. Sound good? So the first things you're going to do are determine your starting stress level. We're obviously living in a very stressful time in the world. It's unprecedented. There's so much uncertainty. Every once in a while, I can find myself just starting to get into the zone of this new way of life. And then I'll check my social media feed, or there'll be a news update with the death toll. And it's like right back out, right? So just these constant swing of emotions. So when you're determining your starting stress level, 0 would be 0 stress, the most relaxed a person can be, and 10 would be a full-blown panic attack. So just take a moment, tune into yourself, and notice where you are on that scale, and then find the chat box and put in your starting number so I can just get a gist of where everybody is starting off today. Okay, so I saw an 8, lots of 3s, 7, lots of 5s. Okay, yeah, that's what I was expecting. I'm impressed to see that so many of you are even a 3 or a 2. basically the safe zone where we want to live our lives, or anywhere below a 5. So for those of you who are at a 5, 6, 7, 8 right now, for many people, that was even their normal state prior to the global pandemic and these chronic debilitating levels of stress. That's when our digestion stops working. We can't think clearly. We're irritable. We're not processing our memories efficiently, right? Anything under 5, you start to get into that kind of calm, confident steadiness. So happy to see that there's a wide range and that not everybody is in the red zone. But for those of you who are, you're about to experience a lot of relief. Okay, great job. So once you've put in your starting number, go ahead and just close your eyes. Take a nice, deep, letting go breath. Already beginning to relax both mind and body. Relax the top of your head. Relax your forehead, smoothing out any creases. Relax the tiny muscles next to your eyes. Relax your jaw, letting it hang loose and slack. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms all the way through to the fingertips. Relax your torso, breathing easily, really releasing your stomach. And then relax your legs all the way out through the bottoms of your feet. Begin to imagine a color you love forming at the top of your head. And think that color to yourself. And now imagine that color flowing in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. This color relaxing you. This color releasing you. This color taking you all the way down. You realize now your eyelids are wonderfully deeply relaxed. Your eyelids are so wonderfully deeply relaxed, they just want to stay closed. No matter how hard you try to open them, they just want to stay closed, and it's all right. You can give it a good try. And when you're absolutely certain those eyes just don't want to open, go ahead and think that color you love. As you now imagine it flowing in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. This color relaxing you, this color releasing you, this color taking you all the way down. Repeating in your mind after me and doubling your relaxation after each and every single decreasing number. 10, I'm going deeper and deeper. 9, I'm going deeper and deeper. 8, I'm going deeper and deeper. 7, I'm going deeper and deeper. 6, I'm going deeper and deeper. 5, I'm going deeper and deeper. 4, I'm going deeper and deeper. 3, I'm going deeper and deeper. 2, I'm going deeper and deeper. 1, I'm going deeper and deeper. Think that color you love as it flows in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. That color relaxing you, that color releasing you, that color taking you all the way down. Just one more step, and that is to repeat in your mind after me. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. Take a nice deep letting go breath. And we'll do that twice more. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. One last time, thinking the color you love as it runs in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. And put a smile on your lips. Open your eyes. And notice your new number on the scale, remembering 0 is the most relaxed you can be. And then in the comments, you're going to write your starting number dash your final number. And we'll take a look at how everybody did. 2 to 0, 3 to 0, 6 to 1, 5 to 1, 7 to 3, 6 to 3, 8 to 6, 7 to 3, 6 to 2, 4 to 1. Beautiful job, guys. 8 to 5, 6 to 3. Wow, you all rocked it. 5 to 1. Beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about what this was, why it works, how it works, and then we're going to do another round together. Then I'll take some questions, and then we'll do another group, longer session altogether. So the whole reason why hypnotherapy is so powerful and effective is because you are intentionally accessing what's known as the theta brainwave state. Now, I'm assuming because you know Jesse, you're a part of the Millionaire Mindset family, you understand what the subconscious is, and you have been working on upgrading your limiting beliefs for a long time. You're familiar with Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. This is not news to you. And yet, so few of us know or were ever taught how to access that theta state intentionally. Once you know how to do that, then you can take all of this powerful information that you've been cultivating your entire life through your practices of personal development, and you can take them directly into your subconscious mind, which is your mainframe, right? Your subconscious mind is where all of your habits, all of your beliefs, and all of your emotional responses live. I'll say that again. Your subconscious mind is where all of your habits, all of your beliefs about yourself and the world that you live in, and all of your emotional responses live. So most people try to change their lives when they're in a totally stressed out state. Again, even prior to the coronavirus, everyone was living in more and more chronic states of stress. But when you're living in a state of stress, you're also living in a survival state. Fight, flight, freeze, procrastinate, hide, be smaller than, be less than, because you don't want to expose yourself, right? You don't want to risk further energy. And further, you know, that's one of the reasons why the fear of public speaking is greater than the fear of death, because being ridiculed, being judged is one of the scariest things for the human psyche. So we make ourselves small to make ourselves safe, right? So if you're in this stress state, if you're in the survival state, operating in this place where cortisol is pumping through your body, your system just wants to do what is already automatic, because a habit is not energetically expensive. Let's think about the first time you ever learned how to drive. The first time you ever learned how to drive, it was clunky. It was stop and go. You were trying to check all the mirrors while merging into another lane, and your heart was racing, and your mom was screaming at you. And it was horrible, right? It was literally jumpy. Nothing about it was automatic. That's what it feels like to create a new habit. It is energetically expensive to create a new neural pathway in the brain. However, after a few weeks, certainly a few months of driving, what is it? It's actually automatic. It's happening in the background. It's no longer energetically expensive. With one hand, you can switch lanes, check the rearview mirror, talk to your best friend on the speakerphone, and also be listening to your favorite song, right? So when you say to yourself, let's use something very common, okay, I want to lose 15 pounds. That means I have to eat differently. That means I have to move my body differently. That means I have to make different choices about where I'm going to go out to eat. That means I have to think about meal planning. That means I have to order different foods. That is energetically expensive. Now, if you're already living in a stressed out, cortisol-induced state, you literally don't have the energy required to make that change. It's not available to you. So when we're stressed, that is our least adaptive state. It is the state where we are the least open to new information. And it is the state where we are the least capable of upgrading our habits, beliefs, or emotional responses, right? So then comes the coronavirus. And literally no precedent, no practice for how to handle something this collectively devastating. And I'm sure many of you here are empaths, so you're not just feeling your own stress, you're feeling everybody else's stress too. And that can be utterly debilitating. And then we're all like, okay, we've got more time in the world than ever before. How about I work on personal development and making myself better? And we're wondering why we're sitting on the couch curled up in the fetal position instead. It's because the energy is not available to us, right? So how do we change that? By accessing what's called the theta brainwave state, you are accessing a state where you are naturally so wonderfully, deeply relaxed, a state where you feel so perfectly safe that you actually have the surplus energy required to make lasting transformations. So this study really helps illustrate it. The study found that 600 sessions of psychotherapy results in an average of 33% improvement. So that's about 10 years of psychotherapy for 33% improvement. And if you think about your own life, your own experience with psychotherapy, if you have it, if you think about your friends, your family, that sounds about right collectively as a human experience. You go to a therapist for 10 years and you're third of the way better, right? That same study found that 6 sessions of hypnotherapy results in an average of 93% improvement on average. And that's not to say that psychotherapy isn't powerful. If you love it, if it's helping you, that's awesome. But if you think about it, when you are talking about your problems, you're activating them. If you're in a conscious, alert state talking about what your parents did to you or what your ex-lover did to you or why you hate your boss, you are feeling that stress as you talk about it, which means you're not actually open to change. You might be understanding yourself and the world that you live in and gaining insights, but are the habits changing? Are the beliefs upgrading? Are the emotional responses improving? It's not actually possible if you're in the stress state. But when you're in that theta state, which is where you are in hypnosis, the whole point is to upgrade what was once limiting. So you guys saw that first round we did. I'm assuming many of you, this is the first time you've ever done hypnosis. And actually, while I'm chatting, I'd love to know if it's your first time or if you've done it before, throw that in the chat so I can kind of get a gauge as to if this is brand new for everybody or if you've done it before. Cool. First time, second time, done it before, first time, lots of first timers, done it before. So a few people have done hypnosis before, but definitely looks like by far and large first timers. So the fact that the first time ever, so many of you, all of you, decreased your stress level is freaking amazing. It's just fascinating, isn't it? And the cool thing is, every time you access a theta state, you're able to go into it faster, stay there longer, and get deeper results from it. So that's the basic gist. Now let me walk you through the actual steps we just did of this self-hypnosis practice, right? So first things first, you notice your starting stress level. Why do we do that? We do that because you're an incredibly busy person. You're a busy person. Even in this world, you're a busy person. And busy people only do things that they know are working for them. So we always want to get a data point. Where am I starting? Where did I finish? So you can go to yourself with empirical evidence. Oh, this worked. Okay, I was an 8. I'm now a 6. If I do it again, I'll be at least at a 4, if not a 2. I'm going to do it again. This is worth my time, worth my effort. So even when you do this on your own, always start with identifying your starting number, because it just programs yourself with, oh yeah, this is working. This is something I got to keep doing. This isn't something I want to forget about for 6 months and then go, oh man, I forgot about that. I should have been doing it this whole time. And that data point helps you do that. You close your eyes. You think of a color you love. Why do you think of a color you love? Because a color you love typically shows up in your wardrobe, in the walls of your home, in the Post-it notes on your desk, in the art that you buy. And so what happens is when you practice this over and over and over again, you send a subliminal message to yourself to relax every time you see that color, which is so rad. Now, you can change the color anytime. It doesn't have to be the same color every time. And yes, it can be a shade for the artistic folks who are like, but what if it's gray with mauve sprinkled in? It's okay. You can get as creative as you want. It doesn't have to just be blue or red. It can be whatever comes up for you. And when people ask me, you know, I don't even like the color orange. Why did I see the color orange? In my experience, that might have a correlation with a chakra, which is an energy center in the body. That's something you can do a little side research on. But let's say that all of a sudden orange shows up. In my experience with the thousands of clients I've worked with, when we find out what orange means in terms of the chakra energy system, that's typically exactly what they're here to work on. So trust the process, go with it. Whether you choose the color or a color pops up for you, it's always been perfect. Then you try to open the eyes. And notice they just don't want to open. And when you notice they just don't want to open, you think the color again. So this is an interesting step. Why do you think we say try to open the eyes? I'd love to see if anybody gets this in the comments. Try, not do. Yes, Sally, first person, you got it. Thank you, Yoda, right? Oh, now I forget how he said it, but there is no try, right? It's do or do not. So we are so clear in our subconscious mind that to try means to fail, that I didn't preemptively discuss this with any of you. All I said was try to open your eyes. Your eyes did not open. So what that was a hypnotic suggestion proving to you that not only did you want the result, not only did you want to relax, which is the only reason you absorbed the suggestion. We'll go over why hypnosis is not mind control in just a second, but you wanted the result. And I said to try, and to try is to fail. So the next time you say to yourself, oh yeah, I'm going to try to increase my revenue this year by $100,000, it's not going to happen. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it, but don't you dare try. I'm not going to try to relax. I'm not going to try when this is all over to meet my girlfriend for lunch. You're just going to either go or you're not going to go. Okay. Now, if anybody had the experience where I said, try to open your eyes and your eyes popped open, that happens for about 1 in every, I'd say 50, 60 people. All that means is you haven't yet committed to wanting the result. And that makes sense. You just met me. What are we doing here? But when you decide for yourself, no, I want the result that this self-hypnosis is going to elicit. I've decided I genuinely want to deeply relax. And I realized that if I open my eyes in this instance, I'm not going to go as deeply as I could. You'll find the next round you do it when I say try, you're really going to test them. You're really going to go for it. And they're not going to open. Then we run the color again. Then we count down from 10 to 1, saying I'm going deeper and deeper after every number. This is the only part of hypnosis that even remotely resembles anything from what you might have seen in a stage show or in the movies. And the fact of the matter is, when you're counting down, and you're saying, I'm going deeper and deeper, you go deeper and deeper. You're giving yourself a command. You are relaxing. It's just a very powerful, effective way to do that. If you're short on time, start at 5, but always keep that step. You run the color again. And the final round is to say, I am safe, I am calm, I choose to be here. This is a beautiful set of what we call a hypno affirmation, and it's a catch-all that works for everything, especially now. And here's why. When you're in that survival state, the reason you're in it is because you don't feel safe. So we say, I am safe. When you're in that survival state, it's because you feel stressed out and anxious. So rather than saying, God, I'm so anxious, God, I'm so stressed, and reinforcing it, we say what we actually want to feel, which is, I am calm. I am safe. I am calm. We're stating what we desire so that it can become so. And finally, I choose to be here is kind of a cool little magical double entendre in the sense that when we're in that survival freaked out state, we usually feel out of control. I choose to be here gives us some control of the situation. So let's say when we're not under stay-at-home orders and you're sitting in traffic and you're so frustrated and somebody just cut you off and you feel that rage building, I choose to be here gives you some control of the situation. It's not like there's this horrible traffic and you're just at the mercy of this horrible situation. No, I got in my car. I decided to go where I was going. I could have stayed in bed. I didn't. I decided to get up, go. Now there's traffic, but I choose to be here in this traffic because I choose to be going where I'm going. Now, if this brings up in you, but I hate my job, I wish I wasn't going to my job, that's a whole nother host of things you can unpack and work on, which is great. It's great for you to get that information. But in the moment, you choose to be here, right? So right now, under stay-at-home orders, you might be feeling claustrophobic. You might be feeling like, when am I going to get out of here? But I choose to be here. You choose to be here to keep your loved ones safe. You choose to be here to keep the first responders safe, right? You choose to be here to flatten the curve. It becomes empowering. And then the other side of I choose to be here is I choose to be here in the present moment, the only moment that actually exists in tangible reality, because all stress, all fear comes from worrying about the past or worrying about the future, neither of which exist in tangible reality. So I choose to be here is super powerful for how seemingly simple it is. All right, and then we run the color again. So how does everybody like the idea of doing another round? Then I'll give you some more info and I can answer some questions for you. Sound good?
Yeah, everyone loves
Awesome.
it. This is awesome. Text messages from people like, Grace is amazing. Like, this is awesome. So good job.
I'm feeling the love, guys. This is my jam. When I can find a community who wants to geek out over the subconscious mind as much as I do, like, those are my people. Awesome, guys. All right, so go ahead and notice your starting level on the scale. You might be the same as where you ended before. You might be a little lower. You might have jumped up by a number or two. Whatever you notice is perfect and correct. You're just gathering data. And once you know your starting number, put that in the chat. Great job. And once you've put in your starting number, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a nice, deep, letting go breath. And think that color you love as you imagine it forming at the top of your head. And now imagine it flowing in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. This color relaxing you. This color releasing you. This color taking you all the way down. You realize now your eyelids are wonderfully deeply relaxed. Your eyelids are so wonderfully deeply relaxed. They just want to stay closed. No matter how hard you try to open them, they just want to stay closed. And it's all right. Give it a good try. And when you're absolutely certain they just don't want to open, go ahead and think that color you love as it flows in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. This color relaxing you, this color releasing you, this color taking you all the way down. Repeating in your mind after me and doubling your relaxation with each and every single decreasing number. 10, I'm going deeper and deeper. 9, I'm going deeper and deeper. 8, I'm going deeper and deeper. 7, I'm going deeper and deeper. 6, I'm going deeper and deeper. 5, I'm going deeper and deeper. 4, I'm going deeper and deeper. 3, I'm going deeper and deeper. 2, I'm going deeper and deeper. 1, I'm going deeper and deeper. Think that color you love as it flows in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet. That color relaxing you, that color releasing you, that color taking you all the way down. Repeating in your mind after me, I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. Think that color you love as it flows in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. Put a smile on your lips. Open your eyes. Notice your new number on the scale. And go ahead and write your starting number dash your final number. Actually, I'd love 4 zeros. Perfect. I'd love to see your first starting number, then your middle number, and now your final number so we can see your total progression. Cool. 4 to 1 to 0, 5 to 2 to 0, 6 to 3 to 1, 5 to 4 to 0, 6 to 4 to 2, 5 to 3 to 1, 7, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. Awesome, guys. Beautiful job. So you're seeing exactly what happens, which is that when you go into theta, you come back out, and you go back in, you go twice as deep. So you can do this back to back, twice in a row. Let's say you're starting, something really upsetting happens, you find yourself at a 9. Round 1, you go from a 9 to a 6. That's awesome, but you're still in the red zone. We got to get you below a 5. Do it again, you're going to find yourself at usually about at least a 3. And that's in less than 10 minutes. So I want to show you a rapid round, because the thing is, if you are 5 seconds away from blowing your top, screaming at your kids, and saying something you can never take back, you might not be able to go find 10 minutes for yourself. Or if you're preparing for a big Zoom meeting and you're not used to using this kind of technology and there's a lot of nerves around it, right before you go live, you can do this real quick. You can use this anytime, any place. So let's do a rapid round. Everybody notice your starting number. You can just think it to yourself rather than typing it. Close your eyes. Think the color you love and run it through your body. Try to open the eyes. Think the color. Run it through the body. Let's start from 5, repeating after me. 5, I'm going deeper and deeper. 4, I'm going deeper and deeper. 3, I'm going deeper and deeper. 2, I'm going deeper and deeper. 1, I'm going deeper and deeper. Think the color. Run it through the body. Repeating after me, I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. Think the color. Run it through your body. Smile. Open the eyes. Notice your new number. So that wasn't even 90 seconds. Awesome, right? Very cool. So you can do this process for as long as you'd like. You can do it super fast. It's to the point where I have conditioned my mind, like I'm real deep now. I gotta come back up just to be able to keep talking to you guys. That if, let's say I'm in the middle of a meeting, right? Because in the middle of a meeting, or let's say in the middle of an argument with your spouse, with my spouse I could because of who I am in the world, but most people's spouses wouldn't get it if you were like, 1 second, babe, blue, 5, I'm going to, okay? So, but now it's to the point where if I'm in a meeting and let's say a coworker says something and I kind of feel something flare up because I don't like what was just said, I can just think, blue, even with my eyes open, and I just feel that blue coming through me, and I immediately feel myself relax. So you can do this counting down from 20, counting down from 10, counting down from 3. You could say the hypno affirmation 21 times, 2 times. Basically, the longer, the better. The more conditioning you do, the deeper it goes. But if you're in a pinch for time, you can do this really rapidly. So let's take some questions, and then I'll take you through a longer experience. Anything about hypnosis. I can also talk about the mind control piece if that's of interest. The subconscious mind, the theta state. I'm an open book. Yes, Sally, feeling calmer and more positive and energized. It's amazing how much energy you get back from doing this. What's the difference between hypnosis and meditation? Cool. So these are probably going to come in and scroll up. So I'll just start with what I see. And if I miss any important ones, just post them again and I'll get to them. So what's the difference?
Thing it might be helpful too is if you have a question, put Q and then colon, so, and then your question, so that we can easily cipher through them.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the main difference between hypnosis and meditation, there's a lot of different forms of meditation, but when I think about something like transcendental meditation, which is 20 minutes twice a day, close your eyes, repeat a mantra over and over again, to me, that is a releasing. You are releasing of stress. You are releasing of resistance. You are releasing of doing. You're moving into a state of being. It's beautiful. It's so important. It's so healing and cathartic to the system. Hypnotherapy, by contrast, is very active. You are doing. You are inputting information. You are weeding out what's not working for you, and you are upgrading limiting beliefs. So you'll see this self-hypnosis process we just did probably looks a lot like guided meditation to many of you, which I'll talk about in just a sec. But the session we're going to do later all together, you'll start to see how in hypnosis we actively go in, seek out what's not working, get rid of it, and replace it with what does work. So what's the difference between guided meditation and something like self-hypnosis or listening to hypnosis recording? The difference is, I call hypnosis meditation with a goal. So they're very similar, but the difference is a certified hypnotherapist is trained to be able to use the exact words necessary to unlock the greatest potential of your subconscious mind. While some guided meditations are wonderful and they'll help you relax because you're imagining the bubbling brook and you can see the deer off in the distance and there's a rainbow and all that feels so good to the system, you have to be really pretty careful who you're listening to because the subconscious has some finicky things about it. For example, it doesn't hear negation. So for example, it wouldn't hear the word not or don't. So if you listened to someone who just made a meditation one day, because they like meditation, so here's a meditation, and then they said, you don't eat chocolate. All the subconscious hears is, you eat chocolate, right? So they made a meditation to help you with your weight loss, and it actually can put things into the subconscious that you don't want to be there. So meditation, like Zen meditation, Buddhist meditation, transcendental meditation, in my mind, is a letting go. Hypnosis is a putting in, and then where the line gets fuzzy between self-hypnosis, hypnosis recordings, and meditation, of course, I'm totally biased, but my preference would always be to listen to something that's been created by someone who's an expert in the subconscious mind, so you're getting the exact right information going into your subconscious. All right, I see some cues. Let's see.
You got a lot of them.
Yeah. Where can I learn something about how to do it and maybe use it with clients? I love these, but I know you have to be very respectful of these techniques. Great question. Oh, Joaquin. My son's middle name is Joaquin, which is the Brazilian version of Joaquin. It just makes me happy. So yes, you definitely want to be a certified hypnotherapist if you're going to be doing hypnotherapy with anybody. However, this technique of self-hypnosis is quite easy to teach someone. As long as you don't go beyond that, you can certainly share this with somebody. The easiest way to share this would be, it's my #1 most watched video on YouTube, so I can get you the link and Jesse can share that with you. But if you just search Grace Smith self-hypnosis, it comes up. And also I wrote a book on how to do self-hypnosis. It's called Close Your Eyes, Get Free. And then, yeah, it's wonderful to use with clients. You just want to make sure you're not guiding anyone in and then attempting to do work without having a certification yourself. But if you want a certification, I have a school, Grace-Based Hypnotherapy School. We'd be happy to have you. Okay, Carolina, is it normal to feel energy flowing? Yes, for those who feel it, and no for those who don't, right? Everybody's experience is a little bit different, but if you feel energy flowing through your body, what that's been described to me as, and my colleagues who are energy workers or acupuncturists, right? That's chi, universal life force, that was once blocked, but because you allowed yourself to get into the theta state and you removed those stressors from the body, your life force is able to flow again uninhibited. So I'm not a tremendous expert in that realm, but I've heard it countless times that people have had that experience, and I've had it confirmed to me by experts that it makes sense that you would feel the energy flow when you're in theta. Can we understand our fears through this hypnosis, which we might not understand normally? 100% Pinky, great question. So there's so many examples, but I'll give this one. I had a client come to me who wanted to stop biting her nails. She worked in a very stressful environment in New York City. She was a very polished, put together, beautiful woman, and she'd been biting her nails since she could ever remember. She was very embarrassed by it. She would, bite them until the cuticles bled, so it was unsightly to her. She was embarrassed. She thought it made clients think less of her, and her mom would just get on her for the hygiene aspect. So this was a big deal to her. This wasn't just oh, it'd be nice. She was really embarrassed by this. She wanted to fix it. And she thought that she was biting her nails because she was stressed at work. Even though she knew she'd been doing it forever, she attributed it to the stress of work. So when we had her hypnotherapy session and we go back to what's known as the root cause or the initial sensitizing event, meaning the impetus, the moment the habit began, she was 6 years old. She was sitting in a little cluster of desks in kindergarten, and it was supposed to be quiet time, quiet coloring time. And the little girl next to her kept whispering at her. And finally, she turned to her and she said, "It's supposed to be quiet time." But that's what the teacher heard. The teacher came over, chastised her in front of everybody, then picked up, this is the school system in the early 90s for you, picked up the thing that she was coloring. She had been coloring outside the lines, told the entire classroom, "This is what you don't do," taped it to the front of the room. That's literally the stock in the middle of the town square, right? Just pure ridicule. And then in that moment, she looked under her desk and she was picking at her cuticles. And then a few seconds later, when the teacher finally went back to her desk, that finger was in her mouth for the first time ever. So, I just got chills. It wasn't the stress. Now, stress can exacerbate our bad habits, absolutely, but it wasn't the stress of work that was causing her to bite her nails. It was fear of ridicule. It was fear of failure. So in that subconscious moment, what we did is we had the older adult version of her from today enter into the room and save her inner child, her inner self. And when the adult her went over to the teacher to basically be like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do this to a little 6-year-old? Not to mention, she wasn't the one who was actually whispering. Because when you're reframing experience, you can do it however you want. What she saw was the teacher looked so tired. And the little 6-year-old couldn't register that, right? But the adult was like, whoa, this woman's exhausted. She's a lot older than I remember her being. She's fed up. And even though the way she handled this was terrible, I actually feel compassion for her for the first time ever. So in this experience, the teacher apologized. The little girl in the desk sitting next to the 6-year-old apologized. Her older self brought in pictures of Basquiat and Picasso's work to show her that coloring outside of the lines could actually mean she's a genius. We did all of these fun things. And so she comes out of the session, and lo and behold, she's not just not biting her nails anymore, which that was the goal and that's what's happening, but she is more confident, more self-assured. She's not worried about judgment anymore, simply because we went back and we reframed the experience. Now, this is the last thing I'll say about this, and I'll take more questions. Some people would say, is that creating a false memory? And it's not. This is not Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is not Men in Black. You're not wiping out the truth of what happened. So imagine this. Imagine the Statue of Liberty right now in the epicenter of this horrible pandemic, that she hears a funny joke, a really funny joke, and she starts laughing. And then she starts laughing even more, and she's just really laughing. And then she's kind of like doubling over with this laughter. The Statue of Liberty starts laughing so hard that everybody in all of the boroughs of New York City, of the tri-state area, start laughing along with her. Just imagining this levity, this moment of joy starts to lift your spirits, even though you know consciously in your mind, in reality, she's a statue and she's still standing there straight and tall. But imagining that made you feel a little bit better. At the theta state, imagining that would make you feel a million times better, and it would shift the course and the precedent of your neural network in your brain so that you would behave differently in the world as a result. There would be a greater sense of levity. And in the case of this client, there was a greater sense of confidence, well-being, compassion, all is good, and that habit never began in the first place. So that was a long answer, but I think an important way for you to understand how this all works. Okay, let's go down to Peter. Will hypnosis be in quiet mode or better with soft, calm music? Everybody's got a preference. I find musicians do better with no music because the music is distracting. If it's like some really ethereal, wonky synth stuff that just drives them nuts. Or if it's really good, then they're listening to it. Just about everybody else seems to like music or waves, or I like rain, the sound of rain. So in our app, the Grace-Based Hypnosis app, which is currently free to support everybody through the coronavirus, you can find it in the App Store for Android and iOS. Grace-Based Hypnosis, you get to choose your background when you go to the Customize section, and you can pick no music, ambient music, rain, or waves. What is your recommendation for getting certified? Where can I train? My recommendation is absolutely my school, Grace-Based Hypnotherapy School. We have the highest standards in the industry, and our students are brilliant geniuses. So you can find out more about that at gshypnosis.com/school. We'd love to have you. Okay, any book you recommend to read on hypnosis? Well, I've got 2 books. I've got Close Your Eyes, Get Free, which will teach you self-hypnosis, and then my new book, baby, who comes out on the 21st, Close Your Eyes, Lose Weight. And for some people right now is not the time to even attempt to work on that and honor that you know what is right for you at this time. There's also hundreds of people messaging our community every day saying, I'm eating my emotions, I need help. And for anyone who feels that way, this is coming out at the perfect time. But other books that I love on hypnosis, anything by Milton Erickson. He is one of the fathers of modern day hypnotherapy. You know, Freud's original training was in hypnosis. His mentor was a guy named Charcot, who was a hypnotherapist. So you can look into some information about that. I've got all my hypnosis books at the office, but I'll make a list for Jesse and share it with you. Okay, a few more, and then we'll dive into the group session. Does that work for you, Jesse?
Yeah, that works great. Let's do it.
Perfect. I'll do like 2 or 3 more questions. How can I raise my self-esteem or confidence in any specific thing I'm doing or learning? Great question, Rodrigo. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can use that self-hypnosis process I just taught you. And instead of using I am safe, I am calm, I choose to be here, you change the hypno affirmations to be the thing that you're working on. So it can be, I feel confident. I believe in myself. I have what it takes to succeed. And you do that for yourself over and over and over again until you start to feel a shift. There's also recordings in our app specifically for confidence, self-esteem, believing in yourself. The most powerful way to do it is with a private hypnotherapy session. That's also the most expensive way because you're obviously working one-on-one with a hypnotherapist. And what that hypnotherapist would do is similar to the nail biting example, would help you understand where is the insecurity stemming from. Because little babies are born confident. And I can tell you from looking at my 2-year-old son, he's a confident little guy. Even when, you know, kids can be shy, certainly, they also play with abandon, right? They yell and they scream and they hit pots and pans. And insecurity is a learned trait. So where'd you learn it? Where did that belief come into being? Reframing it, upgrading it, that can all be done with a hypnotherapist. And the graduates of my school, we hire the top in our class, and we provide hypnotherapy sessions all over the world over the phone. We actually only ever offer phone sessions. They're more effective that way. So you could work with a grace-based hypnotherapist as soon as today on anything you want over the phone. And that would be a great one to work on. Okay, 2 more. Any good ways or self-suggestions to protect from negative hypno-suggestions? Oh, interesting, Annie. Oh, yeah, let me talk about the mind control and then we'll move on. Okay, so you don't have to worry about negative hypno-suggestions. And here's why. No one can make you do something you don't want to do. Are we still good? We're all still connected? You can all still hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, okay? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Marcella. I saw you first. Okay, so no one can make you do something you don't want to do. So the movies and stage hypnosis makes it look like hypnosis is mind control, right? And they do that, in my opinion, because screenwriters are lazy and they want to be able to, or at least the ones who use this are, they want to be able to explain why a character who would never behave in this way is behaving this way now. And they just say hypnosis and everybody just accepts that. Why do they accept that? There was a guy in the 1850s named Franz Anton Mesmer. From his name, we get the word mesmerism and mesmerized. And he started off doing hypnotherapy and he helped a lot of people overcome a lot of issues. He became very well known in Europe, throughout Europe. As his life went on, Franz Anton Mesmer got weird. As an individual human being, he just kind of got weird. And he also started doing something called animal magnetism. And people get strange, you know, we could think of examples of celebrities who started off seemingly pretty normal as children actors, and then we watch what happens over their lifetime and over the course of their fame and whatever else, right? They got weird. So he got weird. It didn't have anything to do with the hypnosis. It was just him. So he started believing this thing called animal magnetism, where he thought you could send this ethereal fluid from one person to the next and do all this weird, strange stuff. He got really heavily into the occult. He started tying up his clients. And so people combined his earlier years of doing clinical hypnotherapy that were effective and professional with his weirder occult years, lumped them all together and said, no, that's bad, that's weird. And it's taken up until the present day for that misunderstanding to be broken down, because Hollywood keeps using it as a device to explain why their characters are behaving in a certain way, because it's easy for them to use it, even though it's an absolute bold-faced lie and has no representation of the truth. Stage hypnotists love when people think that they can control people's minds, but they can't. And here's how you know. If a hypnotist could control someone's mind, every single hypnotist on the planet would be a billionaire, right? That's it. That's all you needed to hear. Now you know. If literally hypnosis were mind control, anyone who was power hungry or wanted to be a billionaire wouldn't study, the stock market, wouldn't go run a hedge fund, wouldn't train their brain to have a millionaire mindset, wouldn't build a beautiful big business. They would just become a hypnotist, and they would just coerce their helpless person into giving them everything that they want. And if that were true, every time a hypnotist or hypnotherapist left their house, it would look like a zombie apocalyptic scene where people would be covering their eyes and ears and screaming in the opposite direction because they wouldn't want to have their mind controlled. And this final example will drive it home for you. I had a woman come to me early on in my practice. She was in her 40s, wanted to quit smoking, had a teenage son. She felt so guilty every time she smoked in front of him. She was so ready to be done. She quit in 2 or 3 sessions super fast. She brings me her son, her flesh and blood, a few months later and says, he's smoking. Let's get him to stop smoking. I'm early on in my practice. I'm brand new. I'm a total noob. And I go, okay, this will be great. I'm going to help a teenager stop smoking. Oh man, I feel so good already. 10 sessions later, I was really inexpensive back then. This was not breaking the bank for them. It was a very different time. 10 sessions later, he's still smoking. And I'm saying to myself, it worked for his mom. He's here. We're doing the same thing. He's had way more conditioning. Why is he smoking? So I finally asked him, do you want to quit smoking? Should have been my first question. Now would be, right? And he said, no, I just started. I literally just started smoking. Why would I want to quit? My mom makes me come here. And I said, so she said, she's going to take away my video games if I don't come here. So I come here. So what do you want to work on? I want to be a better skateboarder. All right, well, let's not waste any more of your time. Let's work on skateboarding. The following weekend, he placed in his very first skateboarding competition. If hypnosis had been mind control, that kid would not be smoking cigarettes because I would have made him not smoke cigarettes. So unless you desperately want the result, you can't get it. So to answer your question, Annie, about negative hypnosuggestions, you're not absorbing anything that you don't want to absorb. And you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, but what about like subliminal messages in commercials and things like that? Over time, can advertising companies skew our view of the world? Absolutely. Through enough conditioning, yes. But there's nothing that's like you're sitting on the couch and then all of a sudden a downy paper towel comes up. They're getting you with some subliminal messages, and before the 30 seconds is over, you're in the car rushing to the store because you just have to compulsively buy downy paper towel now. So I don't want you to be worried about negative suggestions that are coming into your life because you're only absorbing what you desire to absorb. And yes, advertising companies are trying to make you feel less than day in and day out. But the people who've had way more of an impact on your life than even that are your parents, your teachers, your friends, your older siblings, and stuff that they said when you were under the age of 7, when you were primarily theta state. Because before the age of 7, we don't really have a conscious mind. We're almost purely subconscious. Those are having a way more negative impact than anything you're hearing right now when you're stressed out, okay? So the most important thing you can do is take responsibility for your subconscious mind. You now know how to access it. Give yourself positive information. Upgrade those limiting beliefs that were there before. Know that this is not mind control. And one other thing that I always say in my speeches is if hypnosis were mind control, women would send me their husbands with a checklist and I'd be a billionaire already, right? Like, taking out the trash, perfect. Da, da, da. You can't turn somebody into a robot who's going to do something they don't want to do. You can't do it for yourself and you can't do it for anybody else, okay? So I think that's an important way to just round out your education about what hypnosis is and how it isn't. Adriana, how can you undo the negative messages you received from a child? In all the ways we're discussing. The cheapest way, the easiest way, self-hypnosis. It takes the longest. It takes the most amount of repetition. The next best way is with hypnotherapy recordings created by a certified hypnotherapist. There's, their nominal fee. Our app is free right now. It's going to be $19 a month. So very small investment. And again, takes a little while for the conditioning. The fastest way, the most powerful way, but the most expensive way is to work with a hypnotherapist. And you can work with a grace-based hypnotherapist who studied directly with me, anytime, any place, from anywhere in the world over the phone. And you can find that all at gshypnosis.com. All right, my dears. So let me throw that into the chat for you. Thank you for your awesome questions. And let's go even deeper. All right, let's do a collective group hypnosis experience. All I'm going to do is have you feeling safe, calm, focused, having an ability to make use of this time in a way that serves you, but without unrealistic pressure. I feel like that's a good broad thing to cover for everybody. Does that sound good? Awesome. And Jesse, is it cool if we go 10, 15 minutes and then I'll bring everybody up and out? Awesome.
Yeah, my internet was just cut out, but we're ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, everybody, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a nice, deep, letting go breath. Already beginning to relax both mind and body. Relax the top of your head. As you think the color you love. And imagine it flowing all the way through your body, out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth. This color relaxing you. This color releasing you. This color taking you all the way down. You realize now there's a beautiful staircase beginning to form before you. This staircase could be sleek and simple, or elaborate and ornate. However your staircase appears is perfect and correct. Not now, but in just a moment, I'll begin to count down. And with each and every single decreasing number that I say, you'll take a step down on that staircase, doubling your relaxation as you do so. And what you'll find at the bottom is your safe place. A place where you feel so wonderfully, deeply relaxed and perfectly safe. That lasting transformation takes place. Getting ready to take that first step down now. 10. Taking your first step down on your perfect staircase and doubling your relaxation. 9. Another step down. The deeper you go, the better you feel. 8. The better you feel, the deeper you go. 7. Relaxing, releasing, all the way down now. 6. Feeling into the velvety darkness behind those eyelids. 5. Really doubling your relaxation with your next step down. You're doing great. Keep going. 4. Almost there now. You're getting closer and closer to your safe place. 3. All the way down. 2. Doubling your relaxation. And 1. Be there now inside your safe place. A place where you feel so wonderfully, deeply relaxed and perfectly safe that lasting transformation has already begun to take place. And your safe place here today could be a beach, a penthouse, or perhaps it's a garden with butterflies, beautiful flowers. A secret garden where everything is okay. You can breathe in the pleasant fragrances, the fresh air. Where you can hear the sounds of the wind moving through the grass and the flowers, the trees. Reach out and touch something, feeling its texture, its roughness or smoothness. Perhaps there's even something delicious or nutritious there for you to taste, and if that's the case, go ahead and taste it now. Now find a place where you can sit or lie down there inside your safe place. And relax even deeper. And just feel any remaining tension from your body or mind or spirit just totally and completely melting away. You are so safe here. You are so relaxed here. And notice that wherever you are, there's this beautiful, very simple little shelter. Could be like a cottage. A very comfy bed. A book or two. A window with the perfect breeze coming through it. Maybe a little desk with nothing on it, just a chair. And it's free for you to live here. You can stay here as long as you'd like. There's nothing you have to do. There's no one you have to be. Right now, right here inside your safe place, you can just rest and feel what a tremendous relief that is. You can just be. There inside your safe place. And then some time goes by. Perhaps you notice through the sun setting and the moon rising, such a beautiful, massive cluster of stars in the sky. Perhaps this happens a few times, showing the passage of a few days. Or perhaps it happens so much that there is a passing of seasons there inside your safe place. Where the foliage changes and the temperature changes. But the perfect amount of time passes for you. Perfect amount of time for you to get the rest your mind, body, and spirit need, deserve, and are worthy of. And then, almost as if it's magic, one day you feel different. You feel ready. You feel lucky. Not that there's anything you have to do, but that there's so much you get to do. So there inside your safe place, you slowly begin to create. Perhaps you start by finding a guitar and learning how to play. Or perhaps you decide to paint a scene of just how beautiful your safe place is. Or perhaps you find a laptop in the bottom drawer of your desk in your cottage. You dust it off, power it up, and decide to create an online course that will help people in this time. Whatever it is, in this moment, you find yourself being called to create. You feel lucky that you get to. See, feel, and experience yourself creating there inside your safe place, creating something that you're proud of, creating something that makes a difference. Even if right now the difference it makes is financial security for your family, that is honorable and noble and a worthwhile pursuit. Feel energy flowing through your body as you become so fascinated by what you're working on. You feel energized by it. Like your battery is being charged through the creation of this thing, whatever it is. And in turn, you pour your energy back into it. And so this closed circuit energy system churns and churns and churns until you feel positively, blissfully electric. Your energy is self-sustaining now. And then, there inside your safe place, someone comes to visit. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a child or a partner, someone that you really are so happy to see. And in that moment, you go, it's time for me to be present with them. You find the light switch that's connected to this energetic generator of the thing that you are working on, and you just boop, switch it off for now and go give your undivided attention to your loved one. Pour your heart into them. Be totally present with them. Feel that heart-to-heart connection. Gratitude for this connection in humanity. And when your time for visiting has come to a close and you're back by yourself in your safe place, you easily and effortlessly turn your switch back on. And you can get as deep into it as you want. Totally, healthily obsessed with how fascinating this creation is. Loving every minute of it. And knowing that even though you can enjoy how all-consuming it is right now, you have the power, the right, and the ability to shut it off at will and put your focus elsewhere. Repeating in your mind after me, I am grateful. I am powerful. I am lucky. I am calm. I am ready. Really good. And starting to come back now with a smile on your lips. 1, moving your feet and your toes. 2, moving your hands and your fingers. 3, you are ready. 4, even energy returning to the body. 5, coming all the way back now. 6, even more energy returning to the body. 7, 8, feeling great. 9, getting ready to open those eyes. And 10, stretching the arms over the top of the head. And the word is yes. Welcome back, everybody. And I'd love for those of you who want to pop your cameras on to just get a little video of you all waving. There's so many of you beautiful souls here today. So start waving and I'm going to scroll. Thank you for joining. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I hope you loved this. I hope you loved learning about the power of your subconscious mind and you loved learning about how to access it. Jessie has all of my links for everything we discussed here today. One other thing I didn't mention, for those of you who are entrepreneurs, I've got a program with a guy you probably know named Scott Ulford called Rewired that you might be interested in. But other than that, I'm here for you guys. And Jessie, thank you for having me. This was such an honor and was so much fun.
This was amazing. It was so good. So good. And so many great comments we're getting in right now. My internet's not working great right now, so.
Yeah, I see all these awesome comments coming in.
Yeah,
Thank you,
tons of
guys.
comments.
Cool deal. So what's the best way for everybody to get those links from you, Jessie?
So I'm thinking that we'll probably just send a recording out to everyone, and then we'll put the links in as well. So all the links that you provided, from your free stuff to your paid stuff, and then I'll be posting it in the group as well. Someone said they literally cried. Thank you so much. Oh, this is great. Perfect for this time. Perfect for everything.
Yes. Tears of transformation. That's the absolute best. Thank you, everybody. This was so awesome. And thank you, Jessie.
Thanks, Grace, for being here. We really appreciate your time.
You got it. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. Keep hanging around. We're going to bring you lots of fun stuff, and we're just getting started. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you have your week. Go crush it out there. Just show up, be your best self, and we'll continue to talk to you soon. Bye for now.